Hey guys, welcome to the show today. I hope you're feeling really good. I got a hat on. You guys don't. Are you jealous of my hat?
I've got a microphone though. I'm ready to go with a microphone and a couple of headphones here. Let's
a couple of hands.
And that just leaves me, and all I got is a really bad attitude.
Oh no, and a bad speech thing. We're doing
Welcome
audio.
to SmartLess.
SmartLess.
Oh boy.
SmartLess.
You know, Sean, you look a little bit more blonde today.
I know.
Did you do a rinse this morning?
No, I got a haircut yesterday, and I didn't color it. I got to color it. It's a little
Nice
too.
try. I saw Sean yesterday. I happened to be at CVS, and he bought 3 things of sun in. And he sprayed a bunch of sun in.
It is a little lighter than normal, and I don't like it, so I'm going to color it a little bit.
Now,
Wait,
is
but what color-
Skevo
what's
going to
your-
get it? Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, because hang on a sec, Will. This is important. What kind of
I know.
kind
I
of
want
color?
to get to Skevo, though.
No, Skevo, the greatest name in all of hairdressing.
Yeah.
Sean, what is the color that one tries to target usually? Is there a name for it?
A name for it.
There's no name.
Is it burnt sienna?
No, it's like number 5 and number 2 or whatever they have. Yeah.
Oh, you blend. It's a blend.
It's a blend, but I know you don't like when I color my hair, but I like it.
Well, I like what you like, but I
Yeah.
just want to make sure you know that I need no color to love you any more than I do.
Well, that's true, but-
I'm at max.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still reeling. I can't believe you blend 5 and 2.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the coloring world is going to be. I'm going to have to call Eli, our buddy Eli Thomas, Skevo. We should have a conference of all the hair guys we know. We'll get McMillan in there,
Old sweet Chris.
Chris McMillan, and we'll bring them all in.
Is Skevo short for anything?
No, he is a shorter fellow, but no, his full name is Skevo.
I met it.
Do you call him anything for short? What would be short
Skev.
for Skev? Hey,
Call him
Skev.
Skev.
Oh, sometimes you drop the O, huh? What, like if you're in a rush?
Yeah.
if you're running a bunch of errands and
What's his last name? Because usually last name's more spicy than the first.
I'm going to tell you right now. We can cut out this pause while I look it up.
please be Miller.
His last name is Zambilis.
Zamboni.
Zambilis.
Would you say that you guys are tight?
Super tight.
Hey, Will, by the way, I played golf the other day with the guy whose grandmother, I believe I'm getting this right, semi-right, invented the Zamboni.
Oh, I've played golf with that guy too.
Yeah, and it happened down here in like Paramount, California, surprisingly, not in Canada.
Yeah.
And Tracy, the Zamboni is the machine, the sweet little car or truck or minivan that you drive over the ice rinks to make it smooth and shiny.
Cleans the ice, uses hot water and then drags and smooths it out. It's the one thing for hockey that's hurt it in terms of viewing because they have the ice between periods, and therefore the intermissions are so long, and
They're not that long.
It's 20 minutes, and it's detrimental.
There is no alternative. Why don't they get 2 out there?
They do. They generally do. Pro games, they do, yeah.
Maybe they need 3.
They might need 3. I don't know.
I was,
wait,
Michelle
Sean's got
Pfeiffer's-
something on this.
Yep.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer's character's name in Grease 2 was Stephanie Zanoni. I always thought it was Zamboni.
Huh.
So listen.
Sorry, do you want to go down? Do you have a list of stuff you misheard over the years? Would you?
Okay. Dudes, every once in a while, we get to have a guest on that is also our friend. Today is one of those days. I love every moment I spend with this woman and always wish for more. She's funny, but never on. She's kind and warm, but never one of those smiley creeps. She's done movies, television, radio, podcasts, written a bestseller. She's been nominated for Emmys and Grammys. She's got 2 kids, 1 wife. She started in Mississippi, and now she's right here. Say good morning to the great Tig Notaro.
Oh, Tig.
Tig.
Tig Notaro. There she is.
I love that I was described to a T, and Sean's still like, who could this possibly be?
Yeah, I had to zip through
Yeah,
it.
This
I
doesn't
didn't
even
get it.
sound remotely familiar.
I knew, and
You didn't
I
know.
knew, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want my disappointment to come through the microphone so early.
How dare
didn't want
you?
and not even disappointment, outrage.
Now, hey, Tig.
Tig, your hair's growing out. It looks good.
Oh, I just started today. I'm surprised you noticed.
No way has it grown.
Yeah,
out.
you
What are
really
talking about?
pushed hard for
Just
that.
started
You pushed it out.
I just started growing it out today. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to grow my hair out. And I can't believe you noticed.
Day one, please do one
Yeah.
of those things where you take a snapshot every day for 365 and then put it together as a video and set it to a really sad song.
Okay.
Hey, Tig, speaking of
Yep.
sad songs, both your parents still with us?
All three are dead.
3.
3.
Well, I had a stepfather that raised me.
All right.
And in fact, not only is he dead, but
He's not coming back.
Died twice.
he is not. He has no way back to town. A couple of years ago, when he died, and we were having his funeral in Mississippi, it was an outdoor burial. And we were talking to the priest was saying, how do you want to do this? It's more casual outside. I said, well, I was going to say something. And my brother said, well, I'll go first. I'll just say something really quick. And he walks up and he fell into a grave.
No.
No.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
What? Is that
Yes, he
true?
did.
As a
It
bit?
is very true. And
a
my
bit?
entire family is sitting there, and you see everyone just go, oh, shit, oh, my God. And my brother, and there's like this tarp over the hole, and you just see my brother slowly, it caught him a little bit, but he's slowly going down. And yeah.
I mean, that
fully-
would
my
be
God.
overwritten in a comedy.
I know, it's too much, and we're trying to help him
Had he
out.
had a few? Had he had a few?
No,
No,
it was,
no,
it
okay.
was, no.
He's just blind.
No, the place messed up. They were supposed to put plywood over it, and you see
Got
the
it.
people
Yeah.
from the from
I love that the lawsuit says the place messed up. We're suing you because you messed up.
That's the legal terminology.
Yeah.
We messed up. We messed up.
What was
place
the effort
messed up.
like getting him out? Was it tough to get him out?
Well, we were like, oh my gosh, trying to help him out. He's like, no, I'm okay. And he's pulling himself out like the Night of the Living Dead, like with his dirty suit, just grabbing dirt and
Oh,
grass,
my
trying to
God.
pull himself out of the hole. Like he was not going to let anybody pull him out.
Have you ever had a nightmare with that? Has that imagery ever come back to you, like sort of? in that way?
No, that was
No.
like a dream come true. That
Okay.
wasn't a nightmare. That
Okay.
was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe my
Yeah.
stepfather did not get to see that happen.
Right.
I
You could
was
and you
like-
couldn't believe your luck that you got to witness it too. Probably.
Well, and immediately I thought, oh my God, this must happen all the time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, this can't happen all the time. That people
in
just fall
Mississippi
into
is the end of
graves.
that. In
Well, yeah.
Mississippi is the end of that
Well,
sentence.
and
yeah.
people ask, they're like, oh, how come, what's it with, all of these stories from the South and Mississippi? And I'm like, I have no idea, but I truly just show up, look around, and head home with stories like that. I really...
Well, was Army of the Dead about zombies? You did an Army of the Dead.
Ooh, good
Right?
transition. Army of the Dead. I did do Army of the Dead. Yeah. In fact, I did it on green screen.
Right, because famously you replaced a fella
Yeah.
on that,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so you had to shoot everything on green screen, and then they superimposed you into a film that was already shot.
That's
correct?
right. Yeah. Easy
And then
enough.
were there zombies in it?
There were zombies.
So were you
in it.
like, but nothing was there? Oh.
Sean, you saw the movie, I guess.
Well, I've done some
clearly
green
read
screen
for it,
acting. I've
did
done
not
some
get
green
it.
screen acting.
Yeah.
yeah.
I flew the escape, the helicopter to
Get in!
Yeah.
I've got to take off.
Yeah.
I had to do that's not my typical, acting role where I'm yelling things and fighting things
Right.
and had to do it
And
all
just
on green
literally
screen.
like 3 feet away is craft service. Just 3 feet away.
Yeah,
a guy
through
buttering
every
a
scene
bagel.
you see me grabbing a donut and it's all on camera.
But you didn't have to, you weren't a zombie yourself. You didn't have to get into any zombie makeup, did you?
No, I was just, I think, a lesbian.
Those zombies aren't flying in
It's
helicopters.
just a lesbian flying a helicopter. That's what you said?
Yeah. I think that's what I am in everything.
No, Tig. No, what about in Star Trek?
I'm a lesbian in space.
There's lesbians in space?
There are now.
There are?
Yeah.
Now, do you have to wear any alien makeup in Star Trek?
No. In fact, they barely put any makeup on me, I think, because they really want to
What if they just
that
put
I'm a
gobs
lesbian.
of lipstick and like really
Big
make
eyelashes.
just big,
Yeah.
Or you're
I
just
have
sexually active? You're
massive cleavage, too.
No, truly?
No.
Oh no!
My tits are in a dumpster
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
Isn't that the title of your new special?
yeah.
All right. Hey, Tig, let's go back to the very beginning. All right.
Ooh.
So we're in Mississippi. All right. We're in Mississippi.
Everyone's alive.
Everybody's alive. Everybody's happy.
It's a good way to start.
Now, but you did start as a rock band manager type of promoter. I'll help you get on stage and from city to city type of person.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. That's
Dude, have
true.
you ever spoken English before? What the fuck is
I'm
going
such
on?
a journalist. Now, but you know, I do love that about our show. Every once in a while, as I said in the intro, we get a friend on here, and I end up learning so much more about them than I've
Yeah.
ever learned in our personal life.
Why do you think that
Because
is?
you don't take
if we
time
could
to ask.
Yeah,
I don't
was
ask
gonna sidebar
questions.
for a second. You don't ask questions about other people, right?
Hey, Wayne, keep it
Yeah.
quiet.
So,
Okay?
Wayne.
you know what I mean?
So, but what about this? So you managed bands?
Well, I really love music, and
Yes.
I play a little guitar, a little drums.
Drums. Yeah, I read that. I read
And
that.
you're a lesbian, you said. Just
And I'm
going
a
back.
lesbian, so
Oh, just a little bit. Sorry, I got confused.
And
But,
these are drums with sticks, not the hand drums.
no. That's see, I'm still dabbling as a lesbian, so I'm playing actual drums.
you
Once
go
you
full
cross
lesb-
over, then you start doing drum
The
circles,
bongos
and
and stuff. Yeah.
I've been dabbling for decades, not sold on it, but yeah, I was too shy to perform. I tried, and it was nerve-wracking. And so my first girlfriend played in a band, and so I just started booking the band and working in music. In the music.
How long was that you did that?
I don't know, maybe 3 years. So very.
And wait, are we driving around in a van? Are we?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
The
Like
whole
we went
thing.
on tour in a van. You mean like that? Like
Yeah.
when we were touring? Yeah, we were
Yeah.
in a van. One time we actually rented a friend of ours Bronco, and while we were on tour, the hood flew up and like bent in half. And
Wow.
And you
we
couldn't see anything?
We couldn't see anything.
Oh my God, that's my worst nightmare. I
know.
literally thought about that just the other day. I was watching, I could have sworn the hood was vibrating a little bit. I thought, what if this thing flies up
Yeah.
and it's like a
Wait,
bad
what
Chevy
the
Chase
hood
moment.
of the hood of the like an SUV type of
A
thing?
Bronco.
Yeah, but it was like an old Bronco.
And so if the top goes off, why can't you see? Because there's still a windshield.
Because you're.
The hood.
Yeah,
Have
the
you
whole
been
the
in a
thing.
car?
hood, the hood. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant the roof of the car.
Are you
I'm
catching
sorry.
Are you catching every third word? What's that?
Actually, about every fourth word.
So now, but Tig,
What kind of
you-
music was? What kind of music was the band or the bands that
You know, I mean,
Folksy.
folk rock.
There it
Yeah,
is.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey,
What else?
so but you decided to help this band out because you wanted to have a seat that was less exposed to the spotlight. But then while you're doing this, you said, "Well, hang on a second. Maybe I actually want to be up front again. I want to do stand up now, where there's nothing between you and the audience."
Yes. Well,
What happened?
I moved. My very good friends that I grew up with that are still very close to me. We moved from Denver. We were living in Denver at the time, and we moved from Denver to LA, and they moved there to pursue TV and film. And I was newly out of a relationship, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just go with you. And so I went. And then when I got there, I saw in the LA Weekly all of the different opportunities to do stand up, which had been my top secret dream,
Oh, how about that?
Even though you were shy.
even though I was shy. And so I spent the first 2 weeks going to every open mic I could possibly go to.
Oh
and
my
then
God. How nerve-wracking. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. What was that first?
Don't worry, it all works out okay. I end up on SmartLess.
Yeah. Ding ding. Now wait, would you just like climb into a bottom of a bottle before you got up there? Like how did you get over this initial stage fright and get up there and start doing it?
Well, somebody had canceled at the show that I was watching, and I asked the person, which is so, I should dig this footage up.
Yeah.
I have footage of myself talking into a flashlight in a mirror, working out material in
bless
my
your
studio apartment.
Amazing.
For those 2 weeks. And so I was
Amazing.
practicing in the mirror with in my flashlight.
You just all you have to do is flip it on. You can tell ghost stories right after.
Exactly. And so I had all of this stuff worked out over those 2 weeks that I had been living in LA. And then I asked the person, I was like, hey, can I go on stage? And she was like, sure. And so I did. And when I say it went well, if you showed me the footage now, it would be
But-
horrifying.
Really?
But Tig, what was the first thing you said?
Okay. The very first thing is a true story. My friend who I rented the Bronco from,
Yeah.
Who's mad
guy-
at you because of the
Returned it without a hood. Yeah.
we moved beyond that. We got the car fixed
Okay,
and
Good.
remained friends.
Okay.
So my friend, his name was Ro. And,
Hey, Ro.
Well, he passed away, sadly.
Oh,
But
Sorry.
everyone's dead.
anyway, Ro called me and told me our mutual friend, Johnny, was going to be in Denver.
Can we say hi to Johnny?
Johnny's still with us?
I don't know where Johnny is. Say hi to
Hi,
Johnny.
Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny.
So he told me that our mutual friend was going to be in town when I was living in Denver. He said, Johnny's band is going to be there. You should go see him.
Oh.
And he hooked me up with the road manager for me to get tickets to Johnny's show. This is some backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
I'll say.
And oh, there's more.
Okay.
And so so I called Johnny's road manager.
What was the number?
This is where the
story.
story kicks in.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
called the road manager and I said, I'm Johnny's friend. Could I get tickets to the show? And he said, yes. And then at the end of the conversation, he says, now I don't feel comfortable calling you this, but I guess I'll see you tonight, pig. And I said, oh, I actually don't feel
horrible.
comfortable calling you or with you calling me pig either. I said, my name is actually Tig. And he said, yeah, that's what I said, pig. And I said, no, it's Tig with a T. And he said, tit? And then I just say,
What?
yeah, that's right. It's pig tit. I'll see you tonight. So anyway, that was my first story.
No way.
That must have killed. Now, what this your name Tig was given to you by your brother when you were 2 years old.
Yeah.
See, guys, I know how to research shit.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's more fun to just ask her how she got it, and then she tells us that rather. You know what I mean?
oh fuck! Wait,
Fuck you.
okay.
We can do it.
Are we still
We
rolling?
can do it a few different ways, and then just
Yeah.
see which.
Let's just
Pick one.
Why are you
Exactly.
sweating, Bateman? What is
I mean, okay.
He loves
but
me.
He's
Your
nervous.
real name, I think, is one of the best names in the history of names.
I've known you for 75,000 years. I don't even know your
Can we
real name.
say it? We can say it. It's on Wikipedia.
I don't even know if you'd pronounce it correctly. I know what you think it is.
Oh well, then no, but that's a
well,
good
let's
hint.
hear that. Let's hear what he thinks.
Well,
it is.
can I guess the
Yeah.
the correct pronunciation?
Yes,
Matilda.
that's correct.
Matilda.
No, it's Mathilde.
Oh,
Mathilde.
well then what
Yeah.
happens to the D?
Mathille.
C'est français?
Mathilde, but it's pronounced Mathilde.
Mathilde. So you don't just the DE is no. There's no use of
That's French Creole. Yes,
I think it's just French.
French. Okay.
My mother was Mathilde. My grandmother was Mathilde. My grandmother went by Teal. My mother went by Susie, and I go by Tig.
Wow.
And then why did your young brother come up with Tig?
He was older than me. He couldn't pronounce Tig, or he couldn't pronounce Matil, and somehow he came up with Tig, and so.
And his name is Rud.
Renault.
Renault.
Is
Renault.
Renault? Renault?
Renaud.
A-U-D,
Renault.
Renault.
Wait, who was French? So people speak French?
My mother.
Is Renault still with us?
Yes, he's the one that fell in the grave and lived.
Oh, he's the one who Renault, let's just shout out to Renault. Ça va, Renault?
Renault.
One cigarette, one
Quebec, we say
girlfriend.
Renault.
Baguette.
Wow.
And we will be right back.
And now, back to the show.
Wait, I want to know, back to the stand-up, and that was a really funny story. Did you know? Because
Thank
when
you.
I did, you're welcome. Did,
Jesus.
Was there?
Come on. You don't
Was
do
there
that.
a-
We'll stay out of this, okay?
Oh, God.
Was there? Did you know? Because when I first did it, I was terrible.
Sean, this is where we take a break. Sorry,
You
Tig.
did
This is
stand-up?
Hang on. This is Tig. We always do this where we take a break. Sean, and why don't you just tell our audience knows, but tell Tig what your first joke was. Let's go ahead.
Well, I think
It's not pig tit, is it? Sean, was
it's a callback. No,
Sean, was
my
it?
My first joke was I'll do two because one's not even. One was they say ballet is one of the most difficult things you could do, so just don't do it. That was the first one, and then the second one was
Wait, I'm sorry. That was the joke?
There was a joke.
yeah. That was
Wait, I thought,
You got to
say
be
it
quick.
again?
You're with it.
So they
No, you're
say
on it.
that-
You're right
they
on
say
it, Tig.
heard it.
doing ballet is one of the most difficult things you could do. So I say just don't do it. And then the second one was
What was the second part of your speech?
Appropriate joke. Appropriate response.
and then the second one was really bad. It was there's not even a joke.
Wait a second.
It got worse.
Go ahead with the second one, Sean.
'cause I
Sean,
didn't
you've
know
got
how to-
now you've got
Guys,
the
he's
audience.
on a roll. Let him go. And then what?
He had the audience with that first one, and you
I didn't
finished.
know how to write a joke.
What
Like,
was
I didn't
your
know how to
closer?
construct- My closer. My closer was something like, "Hey, isn't it funny when you see people outside in public call their pet for the first time? Like, hey Spot, hey whatever. But like, what if it's like, hey Mustard, come here, hey Ketchup?" And there's not even a joke. It's just
Nope.
bad.
No.
But
And
at 22 years old, I'm like, this is gonna kill. And it was terrible. I mean, I don't even know what the joke is.
It's honestly, it's mystifying.
Yeah.
That somebody would just not just have the balls to get up and do it. We know how scary that is. I'm not a stand-up, and neither.
Yeah, but then be that bad.
But to go up and think.
Think right that you could just talk.
Would be an
I thought I could
appropriate
just
thing
talk.
to say in front of
Gonna
a group
open
of
with
people.
that.
Fuck as
Yeah.
a comedy, just to say out loud as a thought.
and to relay that in front of someone who was you had the number
what I'm
one
saying,
selling comedy
Yeah.
album in the world in
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Number
amazing.
one.
Number
Even
in the
without
world.
Sean writing my material.
Tig, is there a way? Is there any way you could make either of Sean's, and
Yeah,
I'm going
punch
to use
that
the
up.
term joke loosely? Would you ever be able to make that work on stage? Do you think that's
Change the name of the animal from mustard or ketchup to something that would be a little bit funnier to hear yelled across a park.
Or just or just construct a joke better, which was my question, which was I was getting at, which was like, when you got up because you're a very great storyteller, and a lot of your comedy comes from things that have happened to you in life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
fucking hell? Honest to fucking God, Tig.
How did you
Will?
learn how to craft like the rhythm of a joke or a story? Because I got up, the point of me telling you how bad I was, I got up and thought I could just talk. And were you that way when you first started, or did you know how to
Well,
write?
I thought, and I realized I must be like everybody else, that you go watch stand up and you think, oh my God, I can do this. Everybody that does
That's right.
stand up thinks, oh my God, this is, and I get calls from people that are like, oh, my friend at work is so funny. He's moving to LA. Can you meet with him? It's like, yeah, everybody in the office is hilarious. Everybody watching stand up thinks they can do it. And
Right.
it just was, I took the leap like everybody else. And I think my first one did go well. And then I signed up for a competition the second time I did stand up, and I bombed so hard. And the only thing I heard in the audience, aside from silence, was my friend Derek choking to death laughing at me. And then I ran off stage and we drove back from Orange County back to LA. But it's just been a process of, I mean, I thought I could do it. I have been doing it. And, I started out doing kind of deadpan one-liners, and then they kind of got longer, and I
will say...
I'm talking.
No, I was going to tell you something. I know. We always interrupt. This is our hallmark of our show, is interrupting our
show
guests.
is not for the
once
guests.
I was finally... No, go ahead, Will.
Well, I just wanted to say what I was kind of agreeing. I wanted to say that it's not surprising, and kind of going off what Sean said, it's not surprising because you have one of those, you are the type of person, and I don't know you that well, but we've known each other over the years a little bit and gotten to know each other a little bit more. You are a very funny, and it's not true for all stand-ups, and you're not just a stand-up, but you are a very naturally funny person. You don't have a choice in it. I will say that. Like, I don't think that.
Thank you.
Fuck, no, sorry, Sean gets that one. He got there first. And you are a very naturally, so, I think that it does come to, I'm not surprised that the first time you went up that you were able to sort of connect with the audience, because you're a very naturally funny person. I will say that. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, and certainly after I thought I had gotten my bearings in stand-up, I thought, well, I've got this. And I booked my first gig on the road. And it was like in this comedy club in a strip mall. And I had only done shows in Los Angeles in like kind of hip rooms and whatever. And then now I'm like in the middle of nowhere strip mall. And I was staying with friends, and they let me use their car. But the venue actually will put you up at a condo, and they have a car for comedians. And I was like, oh, I don't need the car, but thanks. And this club was called Wits End in Denver.
Oh, that's good.
And I bombed. This is my first road gig. I bombed the entire weekend. And then I hear, before the second show on Friday or Saturday, I hear the owner saying, "Where is our emergency fill-in comedian?" And I was thinking, oh no, what happened to Nancy? Because I was thinking something must have happened to the other. I was mortified. I thought she died. And he was like, "Has anyone heard from the emergency fill-in comedian?" And I'm like, what the hell? And then he walks up to me and gives me my check and fires me. And it was so mortifying. It's, again, my first gig on the road. It's the holiday season. I walk out the front door and I'm like, oh no, I forgot my friends were coming that night. So my friends are in line to get into the show, and they're like, woo, we're so excited. And I was like, I said, I was just fired. My comedy was so bad it caused an emergency. And so they're bringing in a fill-in comedian. Like, they couldn't even stomach me for the rest, like that last night. So they said, let's all go meet at the Mercury Cafe. I'm like, okay. I go to get my friend's car, and I drive off, hit an ice patch.
No.
Spin out of control like in a cartoon. I'm still in the parking lot of Wits End.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And then the car stops, and I'm, of course, pointed in the wrong direction. I'm mortified. I'm like, I thought for sure I was going to be wrapped around a pole. And then I start laughing when I realize I lived through it, because I immediately thought, what if I had used their car? Their car was a station wagon from the 70s that had clowns painted on it that said, "Follow me to Wits End Comedy Club." And if I had died in that moment, wrapped around a light post.
After being fired.
Fired. So anyway, it's been a long road, but I'm almost 30 years in.
Yeah, how did you stick with it with that kind of a start? Why didn't you say, yeah, fuck fuck this, I'm going to start a different career?
You know, I feel like stand-up is like if you're in an abusive relationship and you keep thinking, it was good once. I can get that feeling back.
Right.
You know,
right,
because
right,
the
right.
first time I did stand-up,
Right.
I do think it went well enough, and then the second time I did not win the $100 in the competition I signed up for.
Did you
Yeah.
did you ever think about sending like the charts from your number one comedy special and sending it to the dude in Denver?
Well, he also died.
Oh my
God,
God.
it's Black Widow.
Wow.
Shit,
I
let's
know.
stay away from
Out of the path of
Tig.
Tig.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what?
Well,
Yeah.
how about, do you think that your talent, your skill, your angle on all of this has progressively been arcing up? Like, has it continued to get better and better and better and better?
My attitude?
No, doing stand up and your experience with it, and like,
My question is your attitude. Yeah.
Do you find that you're getting, is stand up a thing that can be? I find that I'm getting hopefully a little bit better each year. I continue on doing whatever the hell I'm doing.
Oh,
And
really?
I hope. I'm not
Golfing.
asking.
He's talking about golfing.
He's
Let's
talking
be clear.
about golf.
It's golf. Is that something that you're still enjoying? Are you still ascendant in
Well,
your?
you know, I finished my last tour and put out my stand-up special, and my last tour really kind of ran me into the ground, and I'm working in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
So this painting behind me is not mine.
That's not you. I was going to ask you
Okay.
about
No.
that. Listener, it's just a shot of basically Jesus' home. It's up there in the clouds somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a nice hotel painting.
But I've been working on new material when I have nights off here, and that's felt good. But I've had this building need and interest in doing a one-person show, and so
But isn't that what you do?
no, I want it to be a little more of a theme, and
Like a 2-act, 3-act structure.
Like on Broadway.
yeah,
No, more
sure.
of a more like a I love you, you're perfect now change. Like one of those ones that used to pass
Yeah,
down
do a
7th
little
Avenue.
singing, dancing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, my Big Fat Greek Wedding was a one-woman show that turned into a movie because it was her story. So you mean something like that?
Like
Yeah,
a Spalding
possibly.
Gray type of thing?
something like
Or like
that.
a talk radio. Are we going to keep going with?
Yeah,
you
keep
know?
guessing. More examples.
So
I'll have a copy sent to you today.
So then there's a theme to it, and it's a little bit more scripted or fully scripted.
Well, I mean, my stand-up is scripted, but I do interact with the audience, or if an idea comes to me while I'm doing a show, I'll just go with that and just kind of explore it, because I don't sit down and write my comedy. I write on stage in front of a live audience, so I do it fully, without a net type writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you? I know you're up there in Toronto working. Do you when you have free nights or whatever? Do you still go and perform out like at clubs in Toronto? Are you doing that all
That's
the time?
what I'm doing. There's
it
a
is?
comedy club, out here in Toronto, Comedy Bar, and I've been doing shows like, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights a week.
Wow.
While I've
You
been
get
out
you
here.
get a comedy bar car? Did they send you a car that says comedy
It's a
bar?
Follow me
Zamboni.
too.
It's a Zamboni.
Comedy bar.
Just for a callback.
Now you dabbled in you do the acting as well, and then you dabbled in directing with
Directing.
Stephanie, your
Yes.
wife, right?
Yes.
You
And
guys
we directed
co-directed.
Sean Hayes.
Yeah. Good luck
Oh
with that.
boy,
That was
walk
in,
us through that.
Talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead,
if you
stage
would.
is yours.
We did. We made this decision last minute to hire him. We couldn't get anyone else in the
I
role.
was the emergency
He was the
actor.
emergency, yeah.
Nancy.
the emergency fill-in actor.
I was Nancy. Yeah. That was super fun. I laughed so hard those 2 days. It was really fun.
Is this
It
a
was
project
so
we should
fun.
plug? What's
Yes,
it called?
it's called Am I Okay? Starring Dakota Johnson.
Am I
It was
okay?
out a couple years ago, right, or something like that.
It came out this year, so thanks for being on top of that, promoting
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
watch
my
party,
hard
huh, Sean?
work. You've been
Yeah,
such
no.
a good friend.
So what kind of part did Sean?
Don't forget, he does, or you don't forget, he doesn't ask any questions. He has no idea, and he's not curious about your life.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
I want to say something about the stand-up thing, though, because you know what always blows my mind?
You want to change
More
the subject
bits?
from your
No, he
casting?
has more bits that he used to do.
No.
Let's hear him.
You know what blows my mind is like when people get up there and they can just, how can you just talk? Like, how do you have so much material that you don't? Because I'm used to memorizing a script, right? And so, but there's nothing, and I know you've written it all, but just to like, if somebody says a topic, you can have the perfectly constructed joke about that thing, and you have it all in at the bank of your head.
But it's not all perfectly constructed. It's that I just try to leave my mind open outside of what I've already written or thought about. And then if something crosses my mind or somebody in the audience says something, I allow myself to go with that.
Whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
And explore and find what's funny about that.
And now that
to
you've
you.
had all of this tremendous success over the years, do people come up to you all the time and say, hey, I'm such a fan. Can you say that funny thing? Or like, do they try to prompt you to perform for them?
I would say the most common thing I get is that no, people don't do that. But I did this like 15-minute bit about running into the pop star Taylor Dane. I did this story years ago, and I did it on This American Life. I ran into her so many times. And the first time I ran into her, I genuinely said, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. I just have to tell you I love your voice. And she was rude to me. And she said, yeah, I don't do that anymore. And then turned and kept talking to somebody.
Wow.
And then I kept running into her. And every time I saw her, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go up and say the exact same thing I said to her at that party.
And just for my sister, Taylor Dane was a big 80s pop star. Like,
Okay.
just in case people don't know who Taylor
Was
Dane
your sister born after the 80s? The fuck are you doing?
No,
dude?
That was for me too, by the way.
Was it really? You didn't know who Taylor
You
Dane
don't know
was?
Taylor Dane? Tell it to my heart.
There's a Taylor
Tell it
Swift.
to my
Love will
heart.
lead me back.
Nope.
Anyway, so you see her a bunch of times. You keep
So
doing
I
the same.
see her out to dinner. I see her at cafes. I see her everywhere. And I just walk up and I interrupted her every time and would say, hi, excuse me. I'm sorry to bother you. I just have to tell you, I love your voice.
I love your voice.
Yeah. Every time. And it
She's like,
became
who the
this.
fuck are you?
It became this experiment that I was doing because I was
Did she
like,
know it was you every time at this?
no,
Never.
she never
registered.
did. Never
No
did.
way.
Yeah. And
Did she
but anyway,
It's really fun.
Is
Did
she alive?
die?
She's
no,
still
she's alive.
Okay.
And then we actually became friendly because of this, because word got out that, I was doing this story and then whatever. And I did this on This American Life. They did the story and then invited Taylor Dane to that performance. And so I met her there.
No way.
But anyway, people come up to me all the time and say, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just have to tell you, I love your voice.
your voice.
And-
Oh, that's
Amazing.
great.
Wait,
Yeah.
Tig, that's so good. I love that you did that. First of all, I love your commitment to shit like that. You've told me umpteen stories of things that you do, and one of my favorite, please tell us about some of the things you'll do at parties. Because it's these are my favorite.
Party bits, sure.
Party bits.
Actually, you know what? A bit that I did on radio, morning radio, when I first started doing stand up, I'd have to go at 6 a.m. in some like Fargo or something to promote my show, and I would always ask the radio host to please talk, like as soon as I come on the show, please talk about how gorgeous I am, and just like go on and on, like Howard Stern and certain people, just like you are beautiful. I mean, look at you. And because I thought, oh, maybe that'll get people to the show, but also it really made me laugh to think of people showing up to see. This is years ago, and just seeing a disheveled, monotone lesbian on stage, talking about my cats.
You're like, I didn't know I was going to an Indigo Girls concert. Hey, wait a second. So, but talk about, but talk about the party bits. Party bits. The fucking. Oh,
Okay.
God, I'm so jealous.
I feel like you really liked this one, but.
Yeah.
My friend Henry Phillips, who
Yes.
is one of the funniest comedians. Please look him up and watch everything he does. He's so
Hi, Henry.
And
Hi,
he has
Henry.
a couple of movies out, Punching Henry, Punching the Clown. I'm in one of the movies. But anyway, he and I do so many bits together.
Yeah.
He's so good. And I used to live in Venice in California. And he was like, hey, he's like, I'm at a party near your house. He was like, I don't know any of these people. He's like, you got to come do some bits with me. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll head over.
I love
And
the mischief of it.
So I go meet him. And we're just loose at this party doing all these different bits that are truly for our own amusement, which
Right.
is what I do things for.
Yeah.
And if people catch on or they enjoy it too, that's fine. But I love looking foolish. So I go in. I don't know anybody at this party except Henry. I go into the kitchen. There's like 5 people standing around, leaning against the kitchen counter, having a drink, chatting. And it's a Saturday night, maybe 9:30. And I lean in and I just tap the wall and I go, hey, guys, I'm going to be going to bed in like 10 minutes. I have no idea if the owner of the house is in there. I have no idea if the host is in the kitchen. I don't know who those people are. And then I go find Henry, and I'm dying laughing. And I was like, oh, my God, I just told 5 people in the kitchen I was going to bed
Wrap
in
it
10
up.
minutes. And he's like, oh, my God. He said, there's like 200 people in the backyard. You have to go out on the deck and announce that. So I was like, no problem. And this is years ago before I was like on TV regularly and whatever.
That is really
And I walk
funny.
out on the back deck. Everyone's holding their solo cups and whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, everybody, just so you know, I'm going to be going to bed in like 10 minutes. and to me, I'm like,
Finish out.
for all you know, I could be going home and going to bed in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That
right,
doesn't mean
right.
I own the house.
Oh, that's right.
fuck,
They're bad,
Tig,
not yours.
Tig, there's something about that I've just always loved. I think it's it's so
That is
fucking
so
profoundly funny. It reminds me, I used to always want to do this, but I never had the guts. I wanted to drive around like Beverly Hills, Bel Air, like in a fancy car, and pull up to gardeners as they're about to start on these big fucking estates and just go, roll my window down and go, I just spoke to the missus. She said you guys can take the day off, fully paid, and just start relieving gardening crews around Beverly Hills and Bel Air. And they're like, look at each other like, fully paid. Yeah, you guys, the missus said, go ahead and take
She
it.
had a long night.
long
You guys don't turn that shit on. Get out of here.
I remember one time you texted me you said, I'm about to drive by your house. I want you to stand outside and look on your phone, but don't look at me
Yeah.
as I drive by. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I stood by and I couldn't look up. And you drove by and you said, hey, Sean. And I didn't look up. That was the bit. That was the bit. I had to be buried in my phone. I didn't quite understand it, but it made me laugh.
You don't understand it?
It was like performance art.
Yeah.
God, that is so good. You know, Tig, you'd like this. My buddy Pete Serafinowicz and all these English guys, they did this bit once. They'd go to a restaurant in London, and they all learned beforehand. They got together, they conspired, and they learned, and they sang, it was somebody's birthday. So they sang happy birthday. And then everybody at the table, like 8 of them, launched into a second verse that they had written. So they start singing a second verse of happy birthday. And everybody in the restaurant starts looking at each other like, hey, what is this? As if they've never done the second verse. How fucking
Oh
funny
my
is that?
God.
That's great.
I am so
funny.
jealous.
I know.
We'll be right back.
All right, back to the show.
Tig, what about the kids? You now have, with your wife Stephanie, you have the cutest boys ever. And
Yes,
they
Max and Finn, they're doing well.
They
have senses
are
of humor.
7, 8.
They are 8. They will be 8.5 this month, and
about that?
huge into golf these days.
Truly?
They are so into golf. It is
Come on.
They're into baseball, basketball. They're on swim
Yeah.
team, but yes, Sean, there's They have a sense of humor.
Funny,
My son Max, I think that. Well, I tell everyone he's bone dry, and we don't know where he got that. And,
Sure.
But
Who was it? Was there a bone dry comedian that really kind of defined your comedic sensibility? Like, was it like Stephen Wright or somebody like
I
that?
was really into Stephen Wright, and
Yeah,
I also
so
really
incredible.
loved Paula Poundstone. I thought
Yeah.
she was so great at writing jokes, telling stories, and also interacting with the audience. I felt like she could do everything, and still feel that way. But yeah, my kids. They're like little. A friend of ours described them as like little Midwestern uncles, because they have like a certain maturity about them. And my son Max, one of my favorite things that he said when he was 4, Stephanie and I were sitting on the couch with Max, Finn, her dad, and our 3 cats. And Max got up when he was 4, just got off the couch, and he said, "I'm getting the hell out of here. All these damn cats." And walked out of the room. I was like, I like your style, kid.
No way.
That
Yeah.
is so
Funny.
funny.
Yeah, they're the best.
Never dogs for you.
No, I've had dogs. I've had a couple of dogs in my life, but we call our house Kitty City.
Yeah. And do you like that the cats just sort of, they take care of themselves and they don't bother you,
Yes.
you don't bother them? Whereas
Yes,
like a
I
dog,
like that in a person.
yeah, a dog needs shit, right? A cat needs nothing.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
but I do
okay.
love an excited dog that's just like about to have a stroke. They're so excited to
Right,
see
they
you.
get the zoomies.
Yeah.
Now, Stephanie, you really make Stephanie laugh too, which is great. You guys
Yeah,
laugh
I love
a lot.
Stephanie.
Stephanie really makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah, and she's really funny too. She's super funny.
She's so funny, and she's in love with Will. I'm in love with Jason, and we don't know where Sean fits into this equation.
Sean was with the kitties.
I love Stephanie.
Yeah.
I love Stephanie.
I love Stephanie.
Was there a meet cute there you want to share with us?
Yeah.
We met on the movie, Lake Bell's movie called In a World.
The Great Lake Bell.
Yeah, and I was deathly ill. I didn't know I had 3 deadly diseases at one time, and then
Come on.
I collapsed, went away, and dealt with
Wait, was this the cancer?
it was cancer, pneumonia, and this intestinal disease called C. diff. I had it all 3 at once.
Christ.
So
Yeah, I
I go
remember that.
away, and I was in a relationship. Stephanie had never dated a woman. We really enjoyed each other on set, but I wasn't thinking I was into her romantically, and she wasn't thinking that about me. So I collapse, I go away. 6 months later, I resurface in the world, and the movie's going to Sundance, and we exchanged numbers, and I told her, I said, I'm not the biggest texter. And I told her about this girl that texted me incessantly after coffee, and that she texted that night. She said, "Sweet dreams," the girl I had gone out with. And not that I thought Stephanie was into me, but I was just giving her the example that I'm not great at this. And that night, Stephanie texted me "Sweet dreams." And I was like, oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then we start texting, and it's kind of building, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm really into her. And she had invited me. I was writing my book at the time. She invited me to come meet her and her friends at La Poubelle in Los Angeles. And I thought, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. I haven't showered. I'm wearing this big Canadian wool sweater with an eagle on my back. I can't go meet her. And then I thought, oh, well, she's not even into me, so who cares what I look like?
Yeah.
And it happened to be Valentine's Day. And so she's sitting at this table.
Happened to be.
But truly, she wasn't into women. And so she's at this table with friends. I walk into the bar. She is wearing a dark blue Canadian wool sweater with an eagle on her back.
No
And I
way.
was like,
No way.
this is insane. I said, let's switch sweaters. So we switch sweaters, and her friend says, get together so I can take a picture of you. We go to hug each other, and we start making out immediately when we touch each other. And
Nice.
Wow.
and then so
Wow.
we end up making out that night, and then she writes me a 5 million page email. The next day I get it. that's telling me how much she loves hanging out with me, how funny she thinks I am. She's not gay, but that she wants to be friends. Like goes, I can't tell you how long this email was. I'm reading this going, because I realized I do like her, you know, but I thought, well, I can't chase her because she's not into it. So I wrote back, okay, Dyke. And that's the only thing I wrote. And then she said when she got that response, she just thought, okay, I like this person. And so now.
Yeah, that's great.
And then, so I mean,
dude, that is so funny.
you know, however you're comfortable relaying this, if there's any further in the story you're willing to go, how does that? Do you guys just start seeing each other for what? Because you want to respect her sexuality, but you want to continue seeing her, but you also don't want to, like, you know. Work on flipping her, or like how do how does that go? What happens?
Well, so
It's true. Yeah, it's a good
I
question.
mean, I just don't like how do you protect
it's
your
valid.
own?
It's
How do you
valid. I just
protect
love
your
when
own
you do
heart and like you know?
so
Go to work
Switcher.
on flipping her. Put on my
so
heart.
I didn't know that she had that okay. I didn't know okay Dyke made the impression that it did. I just thought I need to be lighthearted, let this go,
Yeah.
and just see her as a friend down the road. But
Yeah.
I knew it was going to take me a beat. So I told her, I said, I get it. You know, like when we talked again, I said, I just need some space and then I'll be able to see you as a friend and everything's fine. And so I went to Montreal and was doing shows there. And she reached out to me like a few weeks later. And she said, I'd like to see you when you get home. And I said to my friend who was there with me, and I was like, why does she want it? What? And he was like, because she likes you. And I was like, no, I know. But she told me she doesn't want to. He was like, well, what do you think? She's like, oh, I want to see you again so I can tell you for sure I don't like you.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then she
You had
came
multiple
over.
friends that were females that weren't gay, right? You had multiple friends that were females that weren't gay. So you were thinking, you know, maybe this is just another one of those, perhaps.
Right.
Yeah, I just didn't know what to think. But I got back to LA and she came over, and she's just a very confident, comfortable person, and she's very straightforward. And it's what I realized I'm so into about her. And so she sat down on my couch and she just turned to me and said, I realized that I want to be with you. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And she said, like, I want to be with you. I'm not saying I want to see how it goes or check things out. I want to be with you.
Oh,
and
that's
I was like, what? I was so, I was
Right.
You still had the eagle jacket on, or?
I did.
You still hadn't showered. You still
We
hadn't
took
showered.
our eagle jackets off and we got down to it.
And it was just pure. It wasn't about declaring as a label or anything. It was just like, all I know is I just really want to be with you, whatever that is. It is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. And we make each other laugh a lot. And
Very
That's
cool.
I love
really
that. I
great.
love her so much, and I love you so much. And I remember one time you were doing your live show and you wanted me as a guest, and it was at the
Largo.
Where is that? Largo. And so we had such a good time, and we laughed really hard. And then the next day, literally the next day,
next morning.
the next morning I go to Le Pan, this restaurant on Larchmont, and you walk in, and we both had the exact same outfit on that we were on stage in.
No way.
Yeah, we both
Oh my
slept
God.
in those clothes, and then woke up thinking, "Well, it's early. I just want an egg. I want a couple eggs, and I'm going to go home and shower and change."
You're across the city. No one from the show is going to be there.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Except we live close to each other and dress alike.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and you know what I have to say? Also, Stephanie directed my latest stand-up special.
Oh,
No
no
way.
way.
Oh.
And was nominated for an Emmy, and so was the editor, and so was everyone else except me. I was the problem.
No. Oh, really?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now wait, what is the name of that one? Is that one Hello Again?
That is hello again. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
wait, Tig, are you in Toronto doing stand-up or movie?
Stand up.
Show.
You're doing stand-up.
She's
I'm doing
a
a
show.
show. Yeah.
I
I'm doing
pay
Star
attention
Trek.
because I know what she's doing
Yeah.
because
I'm
I
doing
asked
Star
her.
Trek with Holly Hunter and
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Wow. Do they have to wear the alien makeup?
Paul, yes. Holly, no.
Are they lesbians in space too? I have to ask just for full for fairness.
It's called
Star
Starfleet
Lesbians.
Academy, Lesbians in Space. That's the new series. Is,
we
Starfleet
don't know.
Academy.
I don't know Holly Hunter, but we love Paul Giamatti. He's just a
he's the
gem.
best.
He's a gem.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, and Holly's great too. And
I'm sure.
obviously a real talent. And then I'm thrown in the mix.
Don't you dare! Don't you
say that, man.
Don't
Tig Notaro's
you.
a gem.
But I do have, I mean, close to lesbians. Well, it's across the spectrum. But my podcast, Handsome,
Yes.
is right here on planet Earth. It's like my fourth podcast. I don't know if you know, I've been podcasting for a long time, you guys.
Yes.
And how
you've
are
been
you
in the game.
loving it? Are you loving it? You still loving it?
I really enjoy podcasting. Oh my gosh, yeah. I was so baffled by it in the early days. I think I started in like I don't know, 2006 or something. I have no idea. But I do enjoy it. It's such a different way to be comedic and tell stories.
Yeah, and you can do it inside the comfort of an air-conditioned room. You know?
In the comfort of an air-conditioned or heated furnished apartment in Toronto.
Yeah.
Up there
Yeah.
with the Jesus painting behind you.
Do you want?
Congrats.
Do you want? I'll text her real quick. Guaranteed she's available. Do you want to have lunch with my mom today?
I would love to.
Would you?
Yeah.
She's close.
She's a character. She's a lot of fun. She'll keep you on your
well,
toes.
hook up the lunch.
Okay, I'm going to hook it up.
Tig, hurry home and get back to our Sunday
Fun
rhythm,
day.
Yeah, we
please.
miss you. We miss you.
I have missed you
We would
dearly.
love to see you.
When does this come out?
Today. It's on right now.
You got to tell your family.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell all my dead parents to listen.
But hurry home so we can hang out again.
There's
You
a better
fulfilled-
chance of them listening than if Sean's dad listening. Put it that way.
Wait, how can I naturally mention? Because I wanted to naturally mention something
You're
and I
doing
didn't
it.
naturally mention it.
You're doing it.
I have a documentary that just got accepted to Sundance. Yeah.
You ready for this? You ready for
Fantastic.
this? And weren't you working on a documentary for a while?
Yeah, I was going to get to that, Will. You know, I've got a bunch of questions
Jason,
here.
no, Sean, you didn't. Jason, you didn't even know about it.
Thank
Go
you
ahead,
for
Tig.
asking,
Damn it.
Will.
Of
yes,
course, of
I have
course.
been working on a documentary, and it is. I had called. They're incredible filmmakers. They did the Pamela documentary and the Dr. Ruth documentary, Serena Williams, all this. But I was like, I can't sell you on this person. You have to do a deep dive, not even that deep, on Andrea Gibson. And they called me 3 days later, and they were like, "We're in." And they got on a plane, flew to Boulder, Colorado, and
Oh,
started
wow.
filming.
When does it come out?
Well, it's going to be at Sundance. It's
Sundance, okay.
That's
yeah.
January, right? They
In,
still do that
in January. But Andrea is a brilliant poet, just a brilliant poet, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And,
What's it called? The
Yeah, what's the
documentary?
documentary called?
I believe right now it's Come See Me in the Good Light.
Come see
It
me in the
keeps
good
shifting.
light.
The title's kind of shifting a little bit as we get closer to finish.
Well, I mean, that's the last I've heard. That's the
okay.
working title is "Come See Me in the Good Light." But it is it's a phenomenal documentary about a phenomenal person.
And mention Andrea's full name again for the
Andrea Gibson,
Andrea Gibson.
Andrea
Gibson.
Gibson.
written 8 books.
Oh, amazing!
Wow.
Incredible.
I'll check her out
poet.
online.
Amazing. You these guys will love the books.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, is there an
Love
audio
Love
version?
books. These
And
two
there's their
love
pictures.
books.
Now, that's. Are you going to go to Sundance?
I am.
Okay, good.
I'm going to go to Sundance and going to Sundance.
Yeah.
Well,
that's great.
good luck with it.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. Finish strong there in Toronto and get your ass back home here.
Send
can't-
our love to Stephanie,
Yes,
whom we
please.
also miss.
And all of my love to your families. And
Thank
and I'll see
Thank
you
you,
at Sunday
Tig.
Fun Day anytime
will.
I'm home.
Very
Yeah,
soon.
you will.
Wonderful.
Hurry.
Very soon.
Wonderful.
All right, love you. Thank you for doing this.
Wonderful.
Enjoy the rest of your day
Love
and
you,
stay
Tig.
warm up there.
Well, truly, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Love
Thank
you all
you.
dearly.
Thank you, Tig.
Love
That
you,
was
Tig.
awesome.
Love you, honey.
That was awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, that was Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro spelled Tig.
Yep.
That was such a funny story about her name. Good gourd.
About the pig teeth. You know, pigs do have teats. And
Yeah,
you can get,
that's why it made sense.
did you know you can get milk from a pig? That there's pig milk?
No.
That there's certain countries they drink pig milk?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I'll try
Did
it.
you know that? Will, did you know that?
I'll try.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Pig milk.
Okay.
Pig milk.
But what? Okay.
Yeah.
And people drink pig milk. They put it
Yeah.
in yeah.
You knew
Put
that,
in
though.
cereal? I'll put in cereal.
I didn't. No,
Oh,
no.
good.
I actually I feel worse for now.
It's
knowing
not
it.
true. I was hoping you would say, yeah, of course I fucking knew that.
No.
You fucking...
How great is Tig? Tig, I've known Tig for a long time.
Yeah.
She's always been so funny and so unique. Like there's nobody like her.
No.
They're really, yeah. And I just love, because I usually end up sitting next to her at Sunday. And I just drink it all up. I love her. I love every
She's
minute
so
with
funny.
her. Yeah. So Willie, I say you call your mom and
I might do it.
I would have lunch with your mother in a heartbeat if I was in
Oh
Toronto.
my God, I would too. I would love. When is she going to come down here? I want to talk to her.
You know what else I'd like to do? I'd like to go to your childhood home. I'd like to see your bedroom, which I bet is still
Yes.
pretty much intact.
Yeah.
No,
sure.
no.
No?
They've moved a few times since. Yeah.
What would we see on your boyhood wall when you were growing up in the house there? Were there like
What age?
posters of hockey players?
What age?
Like, 12, 13, 14?
Okay, well, these are various. So, like 11, from the time I was like 6 to 11, I had a map of the world.
Sure.
This is true.
course you
Huge
did.
map of the world. And then underneath, on the sort of the legend underneath, it had all the countries. And it just had, just basic info about every country. Capital, the size, it's sort of square mileage, population, et cetera, for every country in the world. So I had that.
Wow.
And then when I was a teenager, I ended up having I went to boarding school, as you know, for a few years, and then I came back and I had a Smiths poster on my wall.
yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I had a big "The
that's
World Won't
great.
Listen" and a Morrissey poster.
Yeah, the best.
Were you kind of like a mod? Did you ever wear like eyeliner?
No. But I wore tapered, green sort of Dickies type pants. I wore a lot of that, and I wore
Doc Martens?
Doc Marten brogues.
What are brogues?
Like shoes, right? Like wingtips, sort of you know what I mean?
I got it.
Yeah. Like Ducky from Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, but I never, but never, I wasn't a mod in that sense. I
You
listened
kept
a
it
lot
tasteful,
of
sure.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
You keep it
Okay.
timeless. That's the key.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
12 or
Yeah,
13.
thanks.
12 or 13.
Did you have
What was on your
posters
wall?
of yourself on your wall? Because you were in
did.
Tiger
Yeah.
Beat and 16 and all that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the different hairstyles and because there's different sweater in each one.
Yeah.
God, I wish it revealed that Sean had a poster of you in his room. It would be the best thing. That would be the
I literally
greatest reveal.
I think we said this when Rashida was on the show. I had a life-size poster of Quincy Jones on my wall
Did you really?
Oh, wow.
that my dad just put up there for me, and I just never took it down. Isn't that weird?
You never
All I
took
had
it
was
back.
Yeah.
all I had was Michael Jackson posters everywhere.
Did you really?
When I was a kid, and my favorite one was probably Billie Jean.
Oh my God. Bye.
Bye.
SmartLess.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Bennett Barbaco, Michael Grant Terry, and Rob Armjarf.
SmartLess.